Hello my friends, it is Jessie here. I am back with another budget video, but today's budget video is going to be a little bit different. For one, I am in a new planner. I have the Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner. This is the 2019-2020 version, so they will be coming out with a new Deluxe Monthly Planner, I believe this summer, for 2020-2021, but for now, I have the old version. I purchased this on a whim a couple of months ago, and it has been sitting collecting dust. Oh, this is Jax. Jax is sitting right off camera here. So you may see him pop in and out of frame occasionally. He just really wants to be in my videos today. Sorry about that if that was distracting. I purchased this planner on a whim a couple of months ago. It's been sitting collecting dust because I haven't really known what to do with it in terms of my budgeting. I knew I wanted to use it with budgeting, but I have been so in love with my Budget by Paycheck workbook printable from the Budget Mom and the Happy Planner setup. So this has just been sitting there, I'm not really knowing what to do with it, but I've decided to pull it out and start using it every month in addition to my Budget by Paycheck workbook. So those videos where I do my weekly budgets in my Budget by Paycheck workbook won't be going anywhere. They won't be changing. This I'm just going to use in addition to that. You guys will hopefully see a video in the future where I set up my month in this planner. I have it all kind of laid out how I'm going to use it. But for now, we are just actually going to flip to the back of the planner where I have all of these note pages because I'm going to do my budget for our stimulus check. So we received our stimulus check from the government this morning, finally. Seemed like we were one of the last ones to receive that. I know that that's not true. There's still people waiting, but it just seemed like we waited longer than most people. But it arrived in our bank this morning. We actually received more than I expected to, which was a pleasant surprise. So we're going to talk about how much we received and what we're going to be doing with that money. So if you're not familiar, maybe you're not in the United States, the stimulus package that the government set up was to give relief to American families in response to the coronavirus crisis that we are going through right now. And it was a amount of money, I'm not sure exactly of the details. If you were a married couple and you made under $150,000, you received $1,200 for each adult and then $500 per child. 16 and under in terms of the children. So we were not expecting to receive any money for my oldest son who turned 17 this year. However, I guess they based the amounts that we were given on our taxes from last year or maybe even the year before. They weren't really clear about that, exactly what they were basing it on, but I guess because my son was under 17 at that point, they gave us the additional $500 for him as well. So we were expecting $2,900, $1,200 for myself, $1,200 for my husband, and $500 for my 12-year-old son. But we actually received $3,400 in our bank account as of this morning. It was direct deposited. So we have a little bit more money to work with than we thought, which is nice. I don't know if we're going to have to pay that extra $500 back when we file our taxes in 2021. When we file our taxes for 2020, we may have to. And if that's the case, then we will. But for now, we're going to include that in our stimulus check budget. So I have been rambling for a full 5 minutes now, almost. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I have this page in the back of my planner that I'm going to use to write out what our budget is. And up here at the top, I'm just going to use my little mild liner marker here. It has a chisel point on one end for highlighting, and then it's got a fine point on the other end, so you can use it for writing if you want, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to write up here that this is our stimulus budget. Just to make it kind of pretty, the green will match this little green hexagon here. I don't have any stickers or anything fun to use for this, so I thought I would just add some color with that. So I'm going to zoom you guys in, and we're going to break down my plan for the stimulus. So the pen I'm using is a Parkoo erasable pen. I like writing an erasable pen because we're talking about numbers and math here. I'm not the best at math. I often make mistakes. So we're going to write with this. I will have this pen linked down below. So the amount that we are working with is $3,400. Now my husband is still working. He's considered essential, so he's still going to work every day and bringing in an income. So I know a lot of people are out of work right now in the US, and the stimulus money went directly towards paying bills and feeding their family and just kind of making the ends meet while they're out of work and waiting for unemployment and things to kick in. But my husband's pay has not been super affected. Business has been a little bit slower recently, and he is paid based on commissions, so he's been making a little bit less than kind of typical for this time of year, but it's nothing that's really affected us too negatively. So this $3,400 is essentially just extra money, like bonus money. So we're going to put some of this towards credit card debt. We're going to put some of this towards savings and some of it towards spending. The purpose of the stimulus budget was to stimulate the economy. So I know a lot of people took this full amount of money and went shopping with it to stimulate small businesses and things. We thought about doing that, but ultimately decided that we were going to do it this way, kind of split it up amongst our goals. So first and foremost, we have a sinking fund for our homeowners insurance that we actually borrowed money from. We just recently purchased my son a used car. It was about $1,500 for the car, and rather than take a loan out for it, we borrowed against our sinking funds. We took the cash from there and used it to help pay for the car. We had some savings for the car. The rest came out of that sinking fund. So that's the very first thing we're going to do. We're going to pay that sinking fund back. That amount is $585. So we're going to do $585 to our home insurance sinking fund. We just needed access to the cash. We had the cash in savings and we weren't going to need it for a while. We knew that we would be able to pay this back, so that's what we made the decision to do. There's Jax again. Like I said, he wants to be in this video. Go on, Jax. So that's what we decided to do for that, and now we will have that completely paid back. No harm, no foul. We are going to take $300 of that money and we're going to use it for spending. That's, you know, stimulate the economy, do some shopping, get a few things that we've been wanting as a family. So $300 of that we're going to use towards spending. We're going to pay off a credit card with this as well. If you guys have been watching my regular budget videos, you know that I've been taking our debt snowball money every single week and putting it into an envelope to keep for just a rainy day in case we have a situation or a scenario where my husband can't work because he gets sick or whatever. So we do have that savings. We also have our emergency fund, and we're also going to save a portion of the stimulus. So we have decided to take some of this money and send it right to a credit card to get it paid off. We have enough in savings that we feel comfortable doing that and not just holding on to all of this money for dear life in case of an emergency. So we are going to take $1,090 of this and send it to one of our credit cards. It is a city card, and that will completely pay that balance off. So we will have another credit card paid off, which feels so good. I actually went ahead and made that payment this morning, so that is done. Feels really, really good to have that paid off. And of course, in a super dire emergency, should we need to, we can always pull that credit card out. We're not going to close the account, so we could always use that credit card in case of an emergency. That would be our absolute last resort after all of our other kind of contingency plans have fallen through, then we might consider using a credit card in emergency. We follow some of Dave Ramsey's principles in terms of like the debt snowball and the baby steps, but we are not the type who believe that you should not have credit whatsoever. We work on paying off these cards, building up our credit score, and we just keep these cards that we have paid off in my safe. I don't want to close them as soon as we pay them off. That's just not the type of people that we are. So we'll have this card in an emergency, but it'll be so good to have it paid off. And that's the next card on our snowball. So we will be able to up our snowball amount every week moving forward as well. So that's exciting. And the rest of this money is going to go towards the savings. So let me go ahead and pull out my phone here for the calculator and just make sure that all of my numbers here are accurate. So $3,400 minus the $585 for the home insurance sinking fund, $300 for spending, and $1,090 to city. That leaves $1,425 that we are going to put into savings to bulk up our emergency fund. Now, when all of this crazy coronavirus is behind us and we know that our job is secure again, we will probably take that $1,425 and send it to another credit card. We didn't want to immediately do that, spend every single dime of the stimulus budget, because, you know, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what sort of emergency situation we will be in next. The way that 2020 is going, it's likely that there's going to be more chaos thrown at us. So we just decided to split it up a little bit, have some fun, do some spending, pay off a credit card, pay back this money that we borrowed from ourselves, essentially, and put the rest into savings. So that leaves a total of $3,400, which means that we have a zero-based budget, which is great. Every single nickel that we received from the stimulus has been given a job to do. That's what the goal was. So that is a look at how we are going to use our stimulus money. I would love to hear from you down below. Let me know if you have received your stimulus yet, if you qualified. Let me know if you qualified and if you received it. There we go. And what your plan is for it. Are you going to put it all into savings? Are you going to use it to stimulate the economy and do some shopping? I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment down below and let me know. I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.